Wow. Well, it's a very beautiful night. My name is Leo Joshua, and I'm known the Leos. With me is Professor Perikap Amea. In this night, we would like to tackle something regarding to the past election, just the recent one, the 2019, that has been hitting. Someone can compare it to the first election that was brought us into independence. A very good evening to you, Professor Perikap Amea.
Evening, Joshua, and evening, fellow viewers.
I hope everyone is listening, and I'm very fine indeed. Without further ado, I just want to take you back at least to 2019 elections. We have been having, and now we have witnessed a very serious competition in the leadership election. We have an independent candidate, Dr. Itura, and we have the very energetic and someone can have a lot of words to describe him. I refer to AR, the leadership to say. And then to look at those two, they are all product of Swapo. Then it comes to the question in my heart that what is really, what is the reason behind this for Dr. Itura to stand as an independent candidate and here AR again running behind him? They are all from Swapo. What is the reason for them to leave Swapo?
Yeah, no, the question seems to be quite challenging, but it's not that much challenging. It's very easy, especially for those who are professional politicians. Now, for me, the challenge here is not necessarily Itula. The issue is not necessarily Itula, and it's not really Ampanda, as you mentioned them, or I think you mentioned AR. And otherwise, you will end up, you won't finish them. You may start even those who establish RDP and COD as well as APP. It's not, and the Lendless, the LPM. Yes. So the issue, you won't finish that. The problem is not yet over. Although you still have, now you have the IPC, that doesn't mean that now the problem is over. Unless we really handle this situation with care. Now, what is the issue there? The issue is just one. This is what they call a challenge for a revolutionary transformation from the politics, the old politics of the armed struggle, to the politics, revolutionary politics for economic emancipation. That is the key.
That's the key.
Yes.
So meaning still the strategic that Swapo using to guide in government is still combated to the exile? Or what does it really mean? Because you said, you mentioned something that, if I can not get it, what did you say?
Revolutionary transformation.
Yeah, that transformation. So meaning they are still in that spirit of when they were in the exile, or what is it like? What transformation are you talking about?
If you look at their political advocates, they all, it's like a demand for or a cry for change. Is a cry for the advocate, or they demand a political, kind of initiatives for a new political direction. Is a demand for a revolutionary redirection. Some they say reformation, like you had the, the Swapo team, you remember during the previous elections.
Of course.
The team Swapo.
Swapo team.
Yeah, Swapo, Harambes, and the team Swapo. Those are the people, those who have been, demanding for, the team Swapo was talking about reformation and so on. But all of them, now IPC is demanding for change. is advocating, the politics advocate change. But in totality, all of them, no one really is quite clear in terms of what type of change are they, advocating. They are not yet, quite clear of what they really want to change. Yes, they are able to, capitalize on certain specific issues. Things like, for example, the Grade 10 repeat, that was the issue of RDP and so on. And now this one, IPC is on corruption, eradication of corruption, and but the land race issue. Those are some of the things that, the people, the laymen in the street will be able to quickly, be moved and then support this Swapo inner faction or Swapo the other faction and so on. Like the AR, they came up with the land issue. Those are specific issues that ordinary people will be able to understand. But that doesn't mean that the inner squabble of Swapo party is now over. Not yet over. That's why you see that they established this party, and then tomorrow they are back again to Swapo. But when they come back again to Swapo, the very same problem that they
have been fighting,
that pushed them out, is still there. Yeah, is still there. So that's how the situation is. Now one must be able to explain what is really the problem there within the Swapo party. And I said that the problem for revolutionary transformation. Now, what is the problem? How can I explain on that? Now I saw you holding this book here. The problem is this book. The problem is the governing document of the party, the constitution of Swapo party. What do I mean by that? When you talk about Swapo party, you don't talk. The Swapo party is not Genko, is not Nangolo Bumba, is not Itula, and it's not Job Ampanda, and the Swapo party is not all others. You can mention them. The late Hamtenya, the Shuhameni, and others. So, and the one who was the founder of the Congress of Democrats. If you personalize that issue, you will never be able to solve that problem. This is what is Swapo. This is Swapo. When you say Swapo, this is Swapo. You understand that? When you say Namibia, is that constitution of the Republic of Namibia? That is Namibia. Now, when you say Swapo, this is the entity. This is the ruling entity. This is Swapo. Now, the problem is with Swapo itself. Now, what is Swapo itself? The governing document. What do I mean by that? Swapo itself, the governing document with the constitution of the ruling party, is the one that is causing problem to the people. Why so? Is blind.
What do you mean by that? Blind how?
Yeah, because the constitution itself, if you check right away there at the first pages there, we do not even need to go back to the pages like small kids. Let me just pinpoint it out straightforward.
Maybe someone will try to catch up. So we are referring to the Swapo Constitution, and we are talking about the first page. We refer to this chapter 1.
Yeah, they may not be able to see that.
Yeah.
They will not be able to
Let's
see
refer
that.
to that one. Maybe we can go
Now,
with it.
Some of the Swapo stalwarts have been complaining, has been, advocating or expressing their grievances that the Swapo has lost a revolutionary direction. The Swapo has lost political direction. That is the reality. Now, what do I have to say on that? One, the problem is the constitution. The Congress itself of the Swapo party failed to amend the constitution of the party for it to be able to accommodate the revolutionary aspiration of its own members within an independent Namibia. What do you mean by that? You go to the constitution there is no vision. Now, if there is no vision, then you expect people to develop their own revolutionary aspiration. Why? Because the vision is the one that is vital for the inner party revolutionary cohesiveness. Because that is the general objective of the party, of which all of us we are fighting to attain. To attain the vision. Now, what is the vision of Swapo right now? There is no vision. This is the constitution. There is no vision. Now, what is the mission of Swapo party? There is no mission. Now, the constitution of the party, there is only aims and objective. You know, that is the, if you go through there, you will find no vision, no mission.
Yeah, it's only in Article 3, aims and objectives.
Yeah, you have only Article 1 is about the name, and then Article 2 is about the definition of the party itself as a mass-based political organization. And then Article 3, right away there, you have aims and objectives.
And the preamble.
Yeah, the preamble is just part A, part 1 of Article 3. And then you have B, which is now aims and objective.
And then who are those that they have adopted this document? Who are those?
Then the Congress of the party. So the Congress itself of the party fails the party.
So, okay, I believe this
The
has...
Congress of Swapo party failed the party because that the Congress failed to come up with the new vision of the party in an independent, state.
So, okay, before independence, what was their vision and what was their mission?
No, it's very easy and very straightforward. When we were in exile, we were fighting for political independence.
Why did
That was our vision.
Why is it not here?
And our mission was quite straightforward, clear. Our mission was to abolish the apartheid colonial regime. Because we had two visions. Not two visions, two missions. And even the party school of Swapo party, I don't know what they're teaching there if the party doesn't have a vision. The party doesn't have vision, the party doesn't have defined ideology, the party doesn't have a mission. Now, the party school is for what?
If it doesn't address all those things.
Yes.
That should govern, or that equip the governing of the
It's a joke. It's a joke. So now, coming to your question, when we were in exile or before independence, the vision that really all the people behind Swapo party, there was a common vision. The vision was political independence, nothing else. But then there were clear two missions. Sometimes maybe not well documented, but it's quite clearly taught, in Swapo basis and among the ranks and file of Swapo as a liberation movement. Our mission, number one, we had two missions. Our mission was, number one was to abolish the apartheid regime, and second mission was to establish the democratic government. Once, following the abolition of the colonial apartheid regime, and we did that. And then once we did that one, is that now we have attained political independence.
So meaning once you get independence from exile, you come in the country, you start just enjoying your independence without even amending the...
After independence, after independence, people did not come up again with any other revolutionary initiatives on how to amend the constitution in order to be able to rally the real revolutionary people behind the party. So it made itself to be just a political party and no longer a revolutionary organization.
So now you mean that all those are getting out of Swapo is because perhaps they develop a vision and mission within them, then they cannot able to live within Swapo? Or what is the real reason that they are getting out of Swapo?
This we call it, all in all what I have mentioned here, we call it revolutionary stagnation or political stagnations on how to advance the revolutionary politics of the party ahead. Failure to amend or failure to modify
The constitution.
To amend the vision of the party. So we will have some difficulties to, to conquer the society and have the real, the best cadres that are revolutionary or royal to the purpose of the party, because the main purpose of the party, the main objective, or call it now the vision of the party, is not defined, is absent. Because the party is supposed to have the vision that is far more advanced compared to the national vision.
Then how do you...
Now you only have the Vision 2030, okay, which is the national development vision. But the ruling party, that is, it's at the helm of the government of the state, is blind.
I think Vision 20 was an initiative of the Father of the Nation.
Yeah, that's the reason why. That's because the founding father failed to make it within the party, the ruling party Swapo. That's why he came up and make it itself, make it as just a national vision. Because in the party there, they failed to come together, they failed to agree.
So it's supposed to be a vision, or the mission of the party itself?
Yeah, if there is a national vision, like that one, Vision 2030,
okay, let me ask you.
Then the party must also have a vision that is, a national vision or development vision oriented, or even far more advanced compared to the national development vision, like that one of Vision 2030.
Wow, now take me back.
But now the party is blind. The nation itself is having a vision there, which is Vision 2030. But the ruling party is blind, is visionless.
So, meaning is...
Now, what do you expect? You expect people now, those who are admiring to attain aspects of Vision 2030, to move away from the politics of the party, because the politics of the party does not point any direction towards a given promised land. Promised land in this case, I mean about destination.
It's going to be a very narrow. Okay, so anyways, I would like also to know.
So how concretely, I must pinpoint these things. The ruling party is supposed to have a defined ideology, supposed to have a vision, a clear vision, where it wants to take the nation in terms of national development, supposed to have mission, and then supposed to have clear operational fronts. So now, why all these things? And then from there, you have now aims and objective. Why that? Because the aims and objective are being carried out in order to fulfill the mission of the party, the mission of the party. And these aims and objectives, they are being carried out
to attain
within the realm of the party's operational front.
Okay.
Operational fronts. This one should be carried out by this operational front. This one is allocated to this operational front of the party.
What do you mean the operational front?
Maybe to explain it, for one to understand it, when we were in exile, we had those operational front. You have political front, you have diplomatic front, and then you have military front. Now, what are the operational front of the party right now in an independent Namibia? it will be difficult for any member of Swapo party to know that. When you say Operation Fund, you just say, what is that?
Unless maybe
they will say you are crazy. They will say you are crazy, you don't know what you are doing. They ask, where have you heard that? What is that? You know, and this, the leadership of the Swapo party is supposed to outline all these other things. Now, these aims and objectives that are in this constitution are not mission oriented, neither vision oriented, because there is no vision and no mission.
So mission will not accomplish.
And they are being carried out by way anybody wants. Because there is no specific allocation of aims and objective to specific operational fronts, because operation fronts are absent. Okay, now these aims and objectives can be carried out. Anybody can pick up any aims and objective from this document for personal interest, and there is no way to redress that, because there is no mission of which the leadership of the party could say, hey, we are obliged to fulfill, to carry out this task. Our mission is this.
Not this one.
Not that one. Now there is no way. How can you coach them? How can you direct them? How can you redress it?
Let me take you back to.
And when it comes to corruption, there is no principalities of that could be used as, could be based as no principalities, ideopolitical principalities or philosophical principalities that could help, to instill certain moralities within the party, on which a code of conduct of the party could be endorsed, in line with, so that the behaviors of the members of the party are certain principalities oriented, because or are based on certain ideopolitical moralities. Now everyone does what he feels is right, because there is no specific corporate culture. There is no defined corporate culture of the organization. And in this case, corporate culture for a political organization is political ideology.
What about solidarity, freedom, and justice? That is
just a theme. That is just a theme. That is just there. Solidarity, freedom, and justice. You have them here. They are here, there at the back page. Solidarity, freedom, and justice. I can come up with any, depending to what I want to achieve. I can manipulate any situation, then I will interpret this solidarity the way I wish. I can interpret this freedom the way I wish. I can interpret this justice.
Freedom of corruption.
Freedom of corruption. Justice is to defend corruption. Those are some of the things, because there is no specific defined type of political moralities.
Yeah.
Now, as a profession, as a political, as a profession in politics, a professional cadre in politics, there is no politics. There is no politics that is free from certain spiritual moralities. When I'm saying spiritual moralities, I'm referring to philosophy, ideology. So politics that is free from any philosophical principalities, that politics will come just a gang or a chain or a gang of criminals. It's very easy. It's very easy to go that way, because there are no principalities. There are no what they call, kind of superior powers. I don't want to say supernatural, like that one of biblical, but superior principalities, meaning a certain philosophical principalities that control politics. You know, you have the government. The government is an instrument of politics, and politics is an instrument of philosophy. You understand that one? Now, politics, without being under the control of certain philosophy, you'll have a situation whereby politics is left scot-free. Let me finish this one. Politics is left scot-free, meaning now in this case, when I say politics, I mean politicians are left scot-free to do whatever they want. Because there is no certain
no guidance of the philosophical.
there is no political moralities that could control and oblige the behaviors of politicians to certain form of conduct, you know, as leaders or as public figures or as national leaders. They are not morally obliged to adhere to certain principalities because those principalities are absent.
Then where is the movement is fitting under that one? Because we have affirmative education movement. That one their focus is on the lens. So now you mean like within Swapo they cannot they cannot accept any movement or neither like any spirit of revolution.
No, all this AR and other stuffs, all these are Swapo factions. All this is an indication of Swapo inner problems. It's a reflection of Swapo inner differences. All of them, all of us, we are one as Swapo, but we have problems there because we fail to come up with some specific guidelines that will be able to bind us together, fighting for a common objective. Now, due to the common objective, meaning due to the absence of the vision of the party, you will end up that this one will come and say, no, we want to solve this issue of land this way. The one who will take over the presidency will say, no, I am not following this Vision 2030. I come up with my Harambe prosperity plan. And the other one will come up and say, no, I want to be an independent candidate. Why? Because there's nothing in common any longer within the party.
But I think Vision 2030 was almost since it was in the national development, I think it was at the side of the nation.
Which one?
Vision 2030. If all the president could have gone in the same direction, it's the way as it was left, I think we could maybe go to another level.
National Vision 20 is an initiative of one man. It's an initiative of the founder of the Indian nation. Why? Because when the head of state, the founding father, when he realized that he was going to be out of that first office of the republic, to be out of that office of the presidential office, he could see, he could feel it. He was aware that he would leave the people just there without any direction. That's why he came up with the idea and outlined, formulated this type of strategic plans of Vision 20, known as Vision 2030, so that the people, the nation will then be able to follow that, to mobilize the national, resources and attain further developmental, programs and objectives in accordance with Vision 2030. And then, now, why? Now, your question now, to come to your question now. Now, Vision 2030, now it's not owned by anybody. It's supposed to be owned by the ruling party. In this case, Swapo.
So it is vision.
Yeah, because the founding father was the president of was head of state at the same time,
Yeah.
the president of the ruling party, Swapo. Now, Swapo, you can see that Vision 2030 is not endorsed by the party as per se, although there could be some other people, those who were in favor of it and so on. But you can see that immediately when the founding father stepped out of the office, Vision 2030 became no one's program. It was just something that was left there. And then he nominated Pohamba, who succeeded him, hoping that he will be able at least to coach Pohamba, for the implementation of certain programs, and be able again, Pohamba will then be able again to leave some steps there, of which then the next president, in this case now, Geniko, could again advance more on that. But Pohamba himself was not really that, much competent enough to add more to what Nyoma has attained. Genko himself, when he came, is an educated president, was a popular president, as an educated president. So when he came, he dumped the whole vision 2030, and then he came up with his own things of.
He abandoned
that.
And bring up Harambe.
And came up with the Harambe. And then most of the educated people in academician, I don't know what type of academician do we have here in Namibia, including those from UNAM, they say, no, Vision 2030 is something that is an illusion. It is not applicable, it cannot be attained. It's not true. Vision 2030 is a very good idea, is a very good program, is a very good developmental guideline for the nation to attain more developmental objectives. Is a very good, that vision can be attained.
I think Vision 2030, okay, no problem, let me talk about it.
Yeah, so, come bring that question, say it out. What you wanted to ask something?
What was the thing that were at least to be implemented in order to be developed under what was the target?
There are many things there, but there is the center one, the core one. All these are aligned. So now, that question send you back. In exile, we were fighting for political independence. In an independent Namibia, that was the first stage of national independence. In an independent Namibia, we are fighting for economic emancipation. Okay? Now, you can talk about rent redistribution, you can talk about the improvement of education, you can talk about technological development and so on, or you can talk about cultural development and other stuff, and social justice, gender equality, and the other stuff of fighting against any form of marginalization among citizens and so on. All these issues are aimed at advancing organizing national resources, exploring all national resources towards the attaining of the second phase of national independence. Now, what is second phase of national independence? It's economic independence. Now, in this issue, of which Genko, I thought that he was quite clear of what he was advocating, to the extent that he renamed the Ministry of Trade and Industry, to the Ministry of Industrialization. Yeah. That thing, when he came up with that thing, I thought that, he knows what he's doing. He seems to be in the right direction. Because this thing was for the technological development. Remember, the founding fathers of the African nations, let me just say straightforward, in their summit, say it SADC summit or AU summit and so on, from they have been demanding for what they say, they have been advocating what they have been calling, or they say, technological transfer from the north to the south. Now we realize that the politics for technological transfer is an illusion. It won't work. No one will give you his technology. The north will never give their technology to the south just like that. Then we came up now with this Vision 2030, changing the politics of technology transfer into the politics of technological development. And GAINICO failed that. We failed to understand on how to come up with programs for local effective programs for local technological development, because the economic emancipation, economic independence will not be attained through the barrel of the gun like we did with the political independence. It is through technological advancement. It's through the advancement of technological development. Of course, education is one of the key, and not only education, but also initiatives in other relevant sectors. So Swapo Party failed to address that. But all in all, believe me, come back to the key issue. Swapo Party failed to come up with the new revolutionary vision as a ruling party in an independent. Swapo Party does not have a vision. Swapo Party does not have a mission. Swapo Party does not have a well-defined or well-articulated operational front for the party. That's why Swapo Party does only have aims and objectives. And the aims and objective of the party, the ruling party Swapo, are blind because they are not mission-oriented and they are not vision-oriented and they are not being carried out within the realm of a certain philosophically morality or principality. These are the things that make difficult for Swapo to keep a coherent unity within the party for a certain period of time. Thank you very much, unless you have another question.
No, for the time being, let me wish you a good night. And then again, I will looking forward for you for the next invitation.
Thank you very much.